Hi, today we are here to discuss a few changes that have happened on Earthmetry Signals, which is our BI platform based on Apache Superset. In the new release, there are some new ways of doing things, and we are going to cover those right now. The main changes are basically that dashboard filters, the native dashboard filters which were present in the last version, are now fully replacing the old way of working, which was the filter boxes. There are also some old charts which are going to be deprecated, but they will still be available. But we need to be using the newer version of the charts going forward. So we may need to just review some old dashboards and clean up some bits to take care of these changes. The other change is how the time columns are selected and used. This has changed slightly, and we'll cover that as well today. So let's go start looking at the application and how it works. Okay, so when you come into the application, this is still what you're going to see on the dashboard screen. It's not very different from what we've been used to before. But when you get into a dashboard, so let's take this as an example, you can see that the charts still are the same, but you can see on the left side the dashboard filters are populated, and they are configured exactly the same way that you had configured the filter boxes before. But if you notice here, this used to be a filter box. It's still there. We just need to delete it from the layout. But all those filters have been migrated to the left, and there are other filters for this dashboard which are out of scope for this particular tab, so they are still there. So when you switch a tab, so let's say you go here, you can see a different set of filters show up which are relevant for this particular tab, and the others show as out of scope, right? So this is the major change. If you would like to do this, you can just go to edit your dashboard and actually just delete this and change the layout of your charts to compensate. That would be the main cleanup task that you may need to do on a few of your dashboards. So let's just for now just discard this and go back. So this is one major change. Let's look at what the second change is. The second change relates to certain charts which have been deprecated. So if you go and try to create a new chart, and just the featured charts show all the main charts which are recommended for usage right now. But if you want to look at all the charts, you can click on all charts and you will see the full list, and there are a few which will show up over here as deprecated, and these are the older charts. They've pretty much been replaced by newer versions with better control over the features. And if you want to look at charts by category, you can of course go into each category here or use the tags as well if you would like, right? So let's just look at an example. So I'm going to just select the state daily energy consumption table, and this is kind of like a time series table. So we are going to select a line chart as an example and say create new chart. So here you'll see a slightly different layout, and this is the other big change, is that there is no separate section for the time column. So you will need to click on whatever you want on the x-axis and go here and select the time column if you would like the x-axis to be the time column. And as soon as you select it, then you get this other field here which is called the time grain, which you're used to, which is about how you want to aggregate the time column, right? So we're going to leave it at day. And if you noticed earlier, the time section allowed you to specify the time grain and also the time range, which is a kind of a filter of how much data you want to look at from a time perspective. So that now goes to the filters section. So it's populated here because we selected x-axis as consumption date. So you can just go here, and now you can, similar to last version, you can select the time range that you would want to look at, right? So I'm just going to select last month and say save. And for metrics, it works pretty much the same as before. So I'm just going to select the units, supplied, and then just sum it and just create the chart, right? And here you have the chart that basically plots what you asked for and has filtered the time period that you want, right? And you can go to the customize, and now there are generally better features and to control the axis titles and the formatting and so on. There are more consistent controls across charts. I think that was one of the major things that has been revised. So this is basically the major change when it comes to making a chart. So let's go back here and sort of summarize. Dashboard filters are new, and some old charts are deprecated, but they are still available. So you may need to review your old dashboards and just the transition to dashboard filters has been automatically done, but you may just need to review it and just delete the filter box sections and improve the layout if you need to. And as we discussed, the time column selection and aggregation and filtering has changed slightly, and I've covered that part as well. And that summarizes the list of changes for this release. Thank you.